Hello, my friends. This is Eric Parker with One Number Tableau Experts. And in this week's video, I want to cover how do you replace a data source for your worksheets or your dashboards in Tableau Desktop. Okay. So I think the first thing that comes to mind is it all depends on if you're replacing your data source. Is it the same type of data connection or is it a different data connection? So for example, if I'm connected to an Excel file and I need to replace this with a different Excel file, what I can do is go back to my data source tab. And then in this case, I'm just gonna go from the old Excel connection to the new one. So I would hit this drop down here, select edit connection. And then right now I'm actually using a Tableau packaged workbook. So I get this whole crazy Tableau temp file path. But the updated version of the Excel file I need is right here. It's called Sample Superstore Updated. I say open, and it's like, oh, you sure you want to do that? I forgot there was a field that I renamed, so that's awesome. That's going to break this. We'll go ahead and just solve that really quickly. Okay, cool. So that was an example of using or replacing the data source with from one Excel file to another, similar type of thing. Like if you're connected to a SQL database and you were using table A and now you need to use table B, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to just, swap those out one for one with, unless like column names change, like in this case, there should be pretty minimal drawback. Okay. Now the whole setup here would be, I would say, pretty different if we were trying to change data source type. So for example, this same data source I'm using right now, I've got another copy of it that's an extract, okay? So I can't just go to my Excel connection and try and force Tableau to use an extract. I mean, I could try, but I think Tableau is gonna be upset with me. We'll see. Is it thinking? It's trying. And then illegal file type protocol. Oh no, it sounds so harsh, but basically this is Tableau saying, you can't use an Excel connector to connect to an extract or any other type of data source. So, okay, if that's not an option, if it's gonna keep flashing me with these illegal signs, what do you do? Okay, so quick shortcut here. Well, actually, I'll just do it this way. I'm gonna do the data dropdown, new data source, my toolbar. Let me go to more. That's where you would find a hyper extract file. Go here. Now I've pulled up my orders sample superstore. All right, so now, it doesn't really say it super clearly, but the first one up here, this is an Excel file. The second one, this is a Tableau data extract. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna right click on my Excel connection and I'm gonna say replace data source. And then in this case, I have the option, do I wanna replace everywhere or just the current worksheet? I wanna replace everywhere. And then I'm gonna replace it with, if you had multiple other data sources, then you could choose them from this drop down, but I'm just gonna replace it with the extract. I say okay. Forgot that I renamed that field, so that's still gonna do its thing. And actually, surprisingly, it kept the formatting here, which is very nice. I was expecting it to like change the colors and then you have to go back and fix that. So I know it's been a pain point for a long time. Maybe Tableau is addressing that, or maybe it really depends on what types of data sources that you're switching between. But yeah, those are two different options for replacing one data source with another in Tableau. Again, right? So quick recap. Option number one, it's the same type of file, it's the same, it's an Excel file or it's a different SQL table in the same database. Yeah, you could just go back to the data source tab and reconfigure from here. If you're replacing one kind of data source with another, Excel with SQL or whatever, or even one Excel workbook with another, well, actually, that's maybe a gray area. Maybe with the Excel workbook with another, you could repoint it like that. But, Excel with SQL or Excel with a hyperfile or something, then you need to use the new data source dropdown and then hit the dropdown here, right click on the data source name and replace data source. So cool, hopefully this was helpful in giving you some ideas about how to replace a data source within a Tableau workbook. We've got an info button up here in the top corner. That's gonna link out to our upcoming Tableau classes. We run classes every single month, the basics and the intermediates of Tableau desktop. We've got beginners and advanced calculations. We've got Tableau prep. We really firmly believe that nobody should have to be on their Tableau journey alone. There's a lot to learn and we're here to help you on that journey. So thank you so much for following along. We drop new videos like this every single week. We'd love to have you follow along for that as well. And we look forward to catching you on another video here very soon. Thanks.